Good morning, my first road trip of the year. I'm at Feldon Valley, way out in the sticks, but well worth a beautiful drive through the countryside this morning. The clubhouse is rather swish and modern behind me. Changing rooms are excellent, practice facilities are excellent. They've even got lodges here, so if you want to come out for a couple of days and a couple of rounds of golf, you can stay overnight. No, I don't know what the price is, you'll have to check the website, but there's a couple of them over here and they look absolutely delightful. Well, there's some of the lodges by the first tee. There are others on the property, they're fairly modern. And the first hole is quite wide, quite welcoming, which is nice. You don't want to be stretched on the first hole, you want to get a good one away and get it in play. Now the green's a bit on the horizon, so you can't really see the surface of the green, and there's a few like this on this course where you're looking at the horizon. Right, let's talk about money. The green fee today. Now the green fee is staggered throughout the day, different prices, obviously to give members a bit of a priority in the morning. I'm teeing off at 2 o'clock, right at the start of the £36 zone. So £36, 18 holes, and it looks delightful, it really does. Hope my golf is delightful too. Now the greens themselves, they look relatively flat and relatively featureless, but the turn on that putt says otherwise. Don't be fooled into thinking that these greens are easy. They're very subtle and the breaks are very difficult to spot. Par 3 second, the trees aren't in play, but the two bunkers at the front most certainly are. I'd have felt a bit happier going with a 7-iron and bouncing it in, seeing as we've had a very dry spring. But it had to be the 6 to get past the bunkers, even though I hit a poor one. Now I've been told off again for not treating my tap-ins seriously, so I better treat them seriously today. One of the features of this golf course is it's high on this side and it's high on the other side, and it comes down into a small valley where there is a stream running through the middle of it. So we're going to cross that several times today. The VPR 1500 says it's about 197 yards carry. I says about, because it's at a slight angle, it's a little further on one side and a little shorter on the other. So 197, we can safely go driver. Now there's a lot more space to the right than you can see, although these early holes do follow the out of bounds fence, so there's OB right on the first few holes. I feel at home here already. But as you can see out to the right of the screen, there is an absolute load of space. This is a very wide fairway. They're not all going to be wide. And that was another green that was on the horizon, so without a rangefinder it would be difficult to see exactly where the flag was. Just a 5-wood here. This is too narrow to go any more than this, and you don't really need any more than a 210 yard shot, because it's only left me 70. What a glorious sky, not to mention all the birds, and of course we're out in the middle of nowhere, so it's as quiet as the grave. Oh boy. Just when you think you've got it, you haven't. One of the things that helps me determine what tee club I'm going to use is the shape of the hole. This one turns ever so gently to the right. I can see the bunker down the left that's marking the left side of the fairway. And if I walk out there a bit, I can actually see the flag. So now I've got the confidence to choose the right club. Driver. So a little dogleg to the right. I've got no need to hit driver really. I can hit 3-wood quite happily. But sometimes I like to get a little bit closer.
Let's go.
A short par 3 with a little pond in front. I went with 8-iron down here. A nice firm one. And of course you land on the front and then the ball runs out towards the hole. It's a nice par 3 this. And we go on to the next par 4. And the first stinker of the round. A big push slice. What I'm grateful for is that we haven't had rain, because I'm pretty certain the rough out this wide would have been deeper, but you can't see the ball. So this has come out with no spin. It lands way short and then bounces and rolls. That's unbelievable from that line. It's a good hole. I wish I'd seen the fairway. I could probably tell you what the fairway looks like. And there, a small case of falling in love with the line and then forgetting to hit it. Why is it when you get a birdie, you instantly throw it away with a bogey? But not this time. Now we go on to the first par 5. And we're going back down to where the stream is. So I opted for 3-wood because of the firm ground. And I'm glad I did. And this proves that a 3-wood is less destructive than a driver. Because if I'd hit driver, I would have never seen this ball again. So over the top, into the fairway, you can see through the bushes to pick your line. And we just got a gap wedge in. So even though I'd hit a poor tee shot, no harm done. But if I'd hit driver, there would have been a great deal of harm done. Now this looks more awkward than it actually is. There's a load of sand just underneath the face. So it's a question of burying the club into the sand and popping it out. And a nice save. Now we're going to 9. Now I thought this was a short par 5. It isn't, it's a long par 4. And another weak drive. It's going to leave me about 200 over a tree in the middle of the fairway. All I got to do with this hybrid is lean back a bit and launch it into the sky and top it instead. And here I'm thinking, right, just get it onto the front of the green, make your par 5. So a little 6-iron chip and run underneath, get it on the front of the green. And it isn't until I get to the next tee and I had a look at the card that I realised it was a par 4. So this double bogey I thought was just a single bogey. Never mind. It's a great hole. I'd like to play this again. Get one in the fairway down the left hand side. Take that tree out of play a bit. I feel certain I can make a 4 on this, even though it's the thick end of 460 yards. Oh dear. Well, that's the 9 done. The swing's getting a bit sloppy over the last 3 holes. I'm getting a bit cooked in the old brain box. 9 to go. How far is this one? I don't know. I can't see the little writing from there. But I'm going to have to slow down and get my swing back in sync so I can make a few scores on this wonderful golf course. Now, number 10 is a short par 5, but it still plays 3 shots really. You haven't got much space beyond about 225 yards, so it's a 3-wood off the tee. And another juicy lie in the rough. Now we go over the valley and the stream, just a 6-iron. And then a 9-iron in. I think if I'd driven in the fairway and had a better view, I could possibly have taken 3-wood second shot and got 40 or 50 yards closer to the green, but get in! No harm done, par 5. Now I'd spotted this next hole from the 9th tee. The little par 3, green is on a shelf. Very entertaining. I mean, you wouldn't want to be doing this on a 4-iron green, but a 9-iron is fair enough. And forgot to hit it, as you do. There's the stream that runs through the course. And off to the next. It's a little dogleg to the left, but there's loads of room right, so I'm looking to hit a fade, and that's a draw. And that was the sound of ball hitting trees. Now it's slightly downhill and the ground's firm. If I take a 7-iron and close the face and hook this, I'll get it on. And it's a calculated risk. If I hadn't have managed to hook it, I would have still been okay. I would have just been up on that bank behind me instead of down here on the green. Good hole. This is the wrong club. And that's the wrong direction. I think 3-wood up here is plenty, especially with the ground being firm. And I would have been able to hit it certainly straighter. So we chip it out. We're not a great deal better off than if we'd hit 3-wood down the fairway. Bit of a raised green. You're going to notice that the back 9 is getting tighter and a little bit harder to find the greens. Now a lovely par 3. This is the right length of par 3 for this green. You've got the OB right and lost ball, and go down the bank left. That tree really isn't in play. Oh, it's nice to hit good golf shots. And then you get onto the green and you see it's long and narrow. Thank goodness for a red flag, it's on the front, it made it easier for me. Be interesting from the back tee to the back flag. Could be a 5-iron into this narrow green. That'll be entertaining. And on to 15. Down the hill. Just a 3-wood. Don't need any more than that. And another chance to prove that a 3-wood is better than a driver. Because this has come up short of the rubbish. And another bad lie in the rough. Again, you know, if you hit driver, the mistake is bigger, the penalty is bigger. It might even be a lost ball and back to the tee and playing 3. That is so good. This is what I don't like about strokes gained encouraging you to hit driver everywhere. Oh, come on. And if you go on the ShotScope website, it tells you to. I'm not telling lies. So back up the hill. I could hit 3-wood. I don't need driver. But as it is uphill, I'll hit driver. Plus I'm trying to work out my ball position. I'm trying to fix problems as we go. Another raised green. Now this has got quite a big step in it. The flag is on the front step. And the step is quite severe. You can see it on the right hand side of this screen. So I wonder what it plays like when the flag's at the back. And we go on to the last par 5. I'm taking driver because I want to get beyond that stand of trees, which is sort of like halfway down the fairway. I'm going 5-wood. Now I had to take a provisional after this skanky shot, and I hit my provisional off the toe into the trees on the right and lost it, much to the amusement of a couple of young men in the next fairway on the 16th. But that skanky one actually turned out alright. It was just 40 yards. Perhaps next time I'll do a little better. Eighteenth hole. This part of the round when I play an away day, I ask myself that eternal question: if I lived 5 or 10 miles away, would I be a member of this course? And the answer is yes. I think the first thing I would do is get on that practice ground and sort out the car crash of my golf swing. The last hole is a short par 4. There's out of bounds right, there's water left, there's a pond short left of the green. What are you going to do? I think I'm going to try and leave myself about 70 yards. Cheerio. I must admit this tee shot is very tempting, but I opted for the 6-iron. And I think that was most certainly the better option over a 3-wood or driver. Well, I hope that's okay. Oh, just in case you're wondering, I'm not putting up any scores on my away days this year. All I want to do is play the course. I don't want to be under any pressure to try and perform. See you on the green.